There are towns in Michigan that don't feel real. Places where gravity stops making sense. Where entire communities vanished overnight. And where you can literally visit hell and come back. From haunted ghost towns to bizarre festivals and places that defy logic. These are 15 of the strangest small towns in Michigan that you won't believe actually exist. Let's start with one of the most unexpected places in America. 1. Colon, Michigan. Billing itself as the magic capital of the world sounds like an exaggeration until you realize Cologne actually earned that title. This tiny village became a haven for magicians in the 1920s when illusionist Harry Blackstone Sr. made it his summer home. Magic shops, conventions, and performers followed, creating an unexpected hub of prestidigitation. Every August, the Abbott Magic Get-Together draws magicians from around the globe to share tricks, shop for props, and celebrate their craft. Walking down Main Street, you'll find stores selling everything from card tricks to full-scale illusions. Even the local museum celebrates magic history. For travelers who love quirky destinations, Cologne delivers genuine enchantment. The town proves that passion and community can transform any place into something extraordinary and wonderfully weird. But nothing compares to this next one. 2. Hell, Michigan. A town literally named Hell has turned its fiery reputation into a full-blown tourist attraction. Visitors flock here to send postcards postmarked from Hell, snap photos at the famous gates of Hell, and browse devil-themed souvenirs that range from cheesy to genuinely clever. Every October, Hell hosts Hellfest, where costumes, music, and mayhem take over this tiny community. The town even offers wedding ceremonies at the Chapel of Love, so couples can say they got married in Hell. Year-round, the locals embrace the name with humor and hospitality. Don't expect pitchforks or brimstone. Just good-natured fun and plenty of photo opportunities. Hell proves that sometimes the best travel stories come from the most absurdly named places. And then there's a place that completely messes with reality. 3. Pear Cheney. Once a thriving lumber town and county seat, Pear Cheney met a tragic end that still haunts visitors today. Devastating diphtheria outbreaks in the 1890s wiped out much of the population, and by 1917, everyone had left. Now only the cemetery remains, surrounded by dense woods and eerie silence. Local legends claim the cemetery is one of Michigan's most haunted spots, with stories of ghostly apparitions and unexplained sounds. Paranormal enthusiasts visit regularly, hoping to catch evidence of supernatural activity. The crumbling gravestones tell stories of families torn apart by disease. If you visit, remember this is a real cemetery deserving respect. The ruins offer a sobering reminder of how quickly prosperity can vanish, leaving only whispers and shadows behind. But nothing compares to this next one. 4. Frankenmuth, Michigan. Stepping into Frankenmuth feels like accidentally wandering into a German village, complete with Bavarian architecture, lederhosen, and year-round Christmas cheer. Founded by German Lutheran immigrants in 1845, the town embraced its heritage so enthusiastically that it now feels more German than some actual German towns. Bronner's Christmas Wonderland sprawls across acres, claiming the title of world's largest Christmas store. Visitors browse ornaments in July, surrounded by twinkling lights and holiday music regardless of the season. The town's famous chicken dinners at Zender's and the Bavarian Inn have fed millions over the decades. What makes Frankenmuth strange isn't just the cultural time warp. It's how successfully this tiny Michigan town transformed itself into a themed destination. The commitment to year-round Christmas and Bavarian culture borders on wonderfully obsessive. But this next town is even stranger. 5. Climax, Michigan. Every road trip needs a destination that makes you giggle, and Climax delivers exactly that. This unincorporated community earned its name from being situated at the highest point between two rivers, but travelers stop here mainly for the photo opportunities and inevitable jokes. The town embraces its attention-grabbing name without much fanfare. No themed attractions or souvenir shops capitalize on the obvious humor. Instead, Climax remains genuinely rural and unpretentious, with farms and quiet roads dominating the landscape. Locals have heard every joke imaginable and respond with patient smiles. Beyond the name, Climax represents small-town Michigan authenticity, where communities exist for practical reasons rather than tourist dollars, making the whole experience feel refreshingly genuine and unexpectedly wholesome. And then there's a place that completely messes with reality. 6. St. Ignace and the Mystery Spot. At St. Ignace's Mystery Spot, gravity seems to take a vacation, and visitors find themselves leaning at impossible angles without falling. Opened in the 1950s, this roadside attraction has puzzled tourists for decades with its tilted buildings and perception-bending demonstrations. Water appears to flow uphill, and people seem to change height depending on where they stand. Scientists explain these phenomena as clever optical illusions and architectural tricks, but that doesn't make the experience less entertaining. Tour guides demonstrate the strange effects with enthusiasm, encouraging visitors to question their own senses. The attraction embraces its vintage charm without modernizing too much. Mystery Spot represents classic American roadside culture at its finest. Whether you believe in mysterious forces or appreciate clever design, the experience offers genuine fun and photographic gold for curious travelers. But this next town is even stranger. 7. Jacktown. Finding Jacktown requires determination because this former railroad company town essentially vanished by the mid-20th century. Established in the early 1900s along the Empire and Southeastern Railroad, it thrived briefly before the railroad ceased operations in the 1920s. Without its economic lifeline, residents scattered, leaving behind only foundations and memories. Today, hikers and history buffs seek out the scattered ruins hidden among the trees in Leelanau County. The nearby Bland Cemetery stands as the most visible reminder of the community that once existed here. Overgrown paths and crumbling structures create an atmosphere of melancholy beauty. Visiting Jacktown offers a quiet meditation on impermanence and the boom-bust cycles that shaped Michigan's development. Unlike more famous ghost towns, Jacktown remains genuinely forgotten, making discovery feel like uncovering a secret chapter of Michigan history. But this next town is even stranger. 8. Onstead and the Irish Hills. Tucked into the Irish Hills region, Onstead looks like any quiet village until you explore its surroundings and discover genuine natural treasures. Hidden Lake Gardens offer 755 acres of meticulously landscaped beauty, featuring rare plants, hiking trails, and conservatory displays that rival major botanical gardens. Few travelers expect such sophistication in a remote village. The nearby Michigan International Speedway brings thundering NASCAR races to this otherwise peaceful area, creating bizarre contrasts between tranquil nature and roaring engines. Onstead residents navigate this duality with ease, welcoming both garden enthusiasts and racing fans. The town's seclusion makes it perfect for travelers seeking escape from tourist crowds. Rolling hills, glacial lakes, and genuine small-town hospitality create an experience that feels worlds away from Michigan's busier destinations, proving serenity can be Michigan's strangest commodity. And then there's a place that completely messes with reality. 9. Caseville and Cheeseburger in Caseville Festival. For most of the year, Caseville remains a quiet lakeside community where not much happens beyond fishing and enjoying Lake Huron sunsets. Then August arrives, and the town transforms into a Jimmy Buffett-themed paradise for the Cheeseburger in Caseville Festival. Suddenly, this population 800 village hosts over 100,000 visitors dressed in Hawaiian shirts and parrot hats. The 10-day festival features live music, cheeseburger eating contests, beach parties, and enough tropical decorations to convince you Michigan borders the Caribbean. Locals embrace the chaos with impressive organization, turning their entire downtown into Margaritaville North. The economic boost sustains many businesses year-round. Witnessing Caseville's transformation from sleepy to spectacular illustrates small-town Michigan's ability to think big. The festival's success proves that sometimes the strangest ideas become beloved traditions that define entire communities. But nothing compares to this next one. 10. Copper Harbor. Perched at Michigan's northernmost tip, Copper Harbor feels like the edge of civilization, where Lake Superior's cold waters meet dense forests and mining history. This remote community once boomed during copper mining days, and abandoned shafts still dot the surrounding wilderness. Today, ghost stories about miners and shipwrecks add supernatural flavor to the natural beauty. The isolation creates an almost mystical atmosphere, especially during fog-shrouded mornings when the harbor disappears into mist. Hikers exploring nearby trails occasionally stumble upon forgotten mining equipment slowly being reclaimed by nature. Winter transforms Copper Harbor into a frozen wonderland accessible only to the determined. Visiting requires commitment. It's hours from anywhere, but rewards travelers with raw beauty and eerie tranquility. Copper Harbor represents Michigan's wild frontier spirit, where nature and history intertwine into something genuinely strange and unforgettable. But this next town is even stranger. 11. Fenton and the Fenton Hotel Tavern Ghost. Fenton appears to be a typical suburban community until you hear about the Fenton Hotel Tavern and its most famous permanent resident, a ghost named Emery. According to local legend, Emery died in the hotel during the 1920s and never checked out. Staff and patrons report unexplained footsteps, moving objects, and the sensation of being watched. The hotel embraces its haunted reputation, offering ghost tours and maintaining period decor that enhances the spooky atmosphere. Whether you believe in spirits or not, the building's Victorian architecture and historical charm create undeniable ambience. Paranormal investigators regularly conduct overnight investigations. Beyond the ghost stories, Fenton offers pleasant downtown shopping and dining, making it easy to combine supernatural thrills with normal tourism. The haunted hotel proves that even comfortable suburbs harbor mysteries that challenge rational explanation and provide entertainment. 12. Owasso and the Steam Railroading Institute. Owasso looks like countless other small Michigan cities until you encounter the Steam Railroading Institute and its crown jewel Père Marquette 1225, the steam locomotive that inspired the train in the Polar Express. This massive machine still operates, offering excursions that transport passengers back to railroading's golden age. The thundering power and coal smoke create sensory experiences impossible to replicate. The Institute preserves railroad history with impressive dedication, maintaining vintage equipment and offering educational programs. Volunteers work year-round keeping these mechanical dinosaurs operational, demonstrating skills nearly lost to time. During special events, the locomotive's whistle echoes through town, stopping traffic and turning heads. For transportation enthusiasts and families alike, Owasso's railroad heritage offers hands-on history. The Institute proves that preserving the past requires ongoing effort, and that Michigan's industrial legacy deserves celebration and continued operation. But this next town is even stranger. 13. Mackinac Island. The first thing that blows tourists away about Mackinac Island is the lack of cars on the streets in downtown and the horse-drawn carriages that have replaced them. However, a greater shock awaits them at Skull Cave, which stores a mound of human bones and skulls from its dark past. This macabre scene is believed to date back to the 18th century, when it served as a burial site for generations of native Indian communities. Mackinac Island is adorned by stunning natural landscapes, framed by the vast waters of Lake Huron. Exploring Mackinac Island State Park offers a glimpse into its natural allure, with opportunities to hike, camp, sightsee, and picnic. Meanwhile, the Round Island Lighthouse remains an enduring symbol of the town's maritime heritage, built in the 19th century. And then there's a place that completely messes with reality. 14. Fremont. This small town, less than an hour from Grand Rapids, hosts one of the quirkiest festivals in the state. Every summer, 50,000 people descend upon the village for the National Baby Food Festival. This annual extravaganza features a diverse array of non-standard activities for the whole family, including a baby food eating contest, a parade, a car show, kids' games, carnival rides, and the annual baby crawl, which serves as the headliner. But if you aren't keen about savoring baby food, you can opt for more solid adult dishes by visiting the Blind Squirrel Tavern. The spot serves burgers, sandwiches, and other pub fare, accompanied by refreshing cocktails. Fremont also offers guests an excellent viewing experience at Fremont Cinemas, featuring first and second-run movie screenings in an intimate atmosphere. But nothing compares to this next one. 15 Mount Clemens. This lovely community in Macomb County has a questionable attraction on its long list of attractions that revolves around a taboo subject. The Anatomy of Death Museum is an unusual venue that surprises visitors with its unique collection of artifacts. These range from taxidermy displays and human skeletons to dusty caskets and embalming tools, leaving first-timers with a sour taste in their mouths. Some of the specimens date back to the 1800s and promise to leave you with endless questions. Fortunately, you can find the perfect distraction to forget about all the death merchandise at your mother's Food and Spirits by downing a glass of a cocktail or craft beer. Alternatively, you can pop into the Emerald Theater and get your spirits up with an entertaining live music performance. And the craziest part is, these places are real and you can actually visit them. Michigan might look normal on the map, but clearly, there's a much stranger side hiding in plain sight. So tell me in the comments, which of these towns would you actually visit? And if you enjoy discovering places like this, make sure you subscribe, because the next one might be even more unbelievable.